you should have something that looks like what I have on the board. It will be a page, and one side says methods and materials all written out, and the other side should be blank for you guys to write in corrections. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and correct the example, methods and materials. I'm going to improve it. It's not necessarily wrong, but there are some improvements that can be made. You guys are going to follow along and do them. Take some notes. Make sure you take notes that are important and will actually help you when you go ahead and do your own. So, we're going to, let's look at his materials and methods here. He's got 1 tea bag, 8 ounces of water, a heat source, sugar, milk. So, I really like his 1 tea bag and 8 ounces of water. Those are very specific amounts, and our goal in writing, when we're writing for science, is to write in a way, or at least when we're writing methods and materials, is to write in a way that you can recreate the same exact thing over and over and over. So anyone that doesn't know anything about science should be able to make this. So we're going to assume right now that we're writing how to make a cup of tea, and someone should be able to recreate this exact same cup of tea even if they've never even heard of what tea is before. So I'm going to go ahead and write 1 tea bag, 8 ounces of water. If you want to be very specific, we can write in what type of tea. But for this example, I'm just going to go ahead and write in 1 tea bag and then 8 ounces of water. What measuring unit would we be doing if we were doing science? Because we don't use ounces in science, right? What do we use if we're measuring liquid? Right, liters, milliliters. So, but since this is food and this is a little more casual, we'll just go ahead and stick with ounces. So let's look over at his next one, heat source. That's a bit vague. Doesn't tell us exactly what heat source to use. I mean, like, can I, stick it in the bathtub? And, can I stick 8 ounces of water inside a big bathtub that's been... Oh, can I put it inside our hot tub? Was that a good way to, heat up some water? No, I don't think so. So I'm going to say kettle. Again, it's very specific, and it will give you the same results every single time. Sugar, milk. This doesn't tell us, A, what type of sugar or milk, or how much. So let's go ahead and correct that as well. Sugar and milk. Let's go ahead and do 1 teaspoon of each. And then, actually, let's do 1 tablespoon of milk. Milk. Let's be specific. Whole milk. So, maybe if I could spell, it would help. Let's see. Is there anything else? He left some things off, I think. So is there anything else that we might need if we're making tea? Okay, firstly, how are we going to measure the water and sugar and milk? We're not just going to guesstimate, so we need things to measure. So let's say measuring cups, but what kind? We're measuring water is going to be in its liquid state, so we're going to need 1 liquid. We're going to need a liquid. And then we're going to also need teaspoon and tablespoon, measuring spoons. And then my next question is, what are we making this tea in? Am I just going to make it in the kettle? Yeah, no, we don't usually make tea in the kettle. At least not my electric kettle. You guys have seen me make tea before, right? What do I pour it in? A mug. So let's go ahead and add a mug. And is there anything else that we might need? No? Do we feel good for now? Alright. Let's go ahead and switch over to the methods. So, let's go ahead and add some steps. So I want you guys to look at what he wrote for his methods. So his first step was using your heating method of choice. Okay, we're going to have to change that to kettle. Heat your 8 ounces of water to a boil. I really like that he used the word boil here. That tells us exactly what temperature to heat our water to. And that's another thing about science. So when we're writing for science, we're trying to be as accurate and precise as possible. We're trying to also be very dense. I know that dense words are hard to read, and like dense text is very difficult to read, but it's something that helps you when you write or read in science. It gives you the most information in the least amount of words. Just like when something is very dense, there's a lot of stuff in a little space. That's the same thing about words when you read science. So if he wrote boil or heat your water to 100 degrees Celsius, that would be the same thing as saying to a boil. But saying to a boil is a lot less words. It makes your writing more dense. So let's go ahead and say, use a kettle to heat So you could write to a boil, you could write to the boiling point, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as you are consciously aware of your word choice while writing for science. His second step is to put your tea bag into the boiling water, now off the heat. So now off the hot heat isn't really important, but we're talking about this mug. Are we going to just put the tea bag into the kettle? No, what do I usually do? When Miss Draper makes tea, she puts the tea bag into the mug and then adds the water onto the tea bag. So let's say that. How do we put that into steps? So let's say put tea bag in mug. So you can either make this one whole thing. I'm going to make it into 2 steps, and then I'm going to add water. Yeah, add water to mug. So some of you might ask, do we need to write add boiling water to mug or what? So since in the materials, we only wrote water once, people are going to know that we're talking about the same water throughout these steps. So it's okay to not write add boiling water or add 8 ounces of water, because we already indicated up here that that's the water. And here. We already talked about water here and here, so everyone will know every place else we talk about water, that it's going to be the same water. If we were using another water source for something, then we would have to indicate that in the materials, and we would have to differentiate that down here in the methods as well. Let's see. So his next step is to cover and let steep for 3 to 6 minutes. Again, we're going to try and make the same exact cup of tea every single time, so we need to have a very specific amount of time. So let's say let steep for 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and just give that number. Because if we let it steep for 3 minutes and then somebody else let it steep for 6 minutes, that's not going to be the same tea. The 3 minutes is going to be way weaker than the 6 minutes, because that's double the amount of time. So we want to make the same cup of tea. We want both people to make the same tea. So we're going to go ahead and say steep for 4 minutes. All right. So his step 4 is to add milk and sugar and enjoy. Has anybody actually paid attention when I've made tea before? What do I do with the tea bag? Do I leave it in the tea while I'm drinking it, or do I take it out? I take it out. That's a good question. Why do I take the tea bag out? Is because leaving the tea bag in can make it really bitter. It's the perfect personal preference, but If I'm making this tea, I want someone else to make the same exact tea as me, I'm going to tell them to take the tea bag out. So I'm going to say remove tea bag, and then discard. You can see the density in my language here in number 5, remove tea bag. Instead of saying remove the tea bag from the mug, just remove tea bag, and then discard. Instead of saying throw away the tea bag or something along those lines, just saying discard is enough information. It says the same exact amount of information without the tons and tons of words. Does that make sense? Does anybody need me to re-explain that in a different way? Okay, great. If you were to put discard on a separate line, if you were to make number 6 to be discard, you'd need to explain what we're discarding. That's why I put it together on the same line. Number 6. Just for time and to save space on your papers, I'm going to go ahead and write add milk and sugar to tea. And then number 7. You know what? We never, up here in the materials section, we never added in a spoon or a stir stick to stir our tea together. I don't just like add the sugar to my tea and then like drink it and then like get some chunky bits of sugar. That's not good. I always stir it. So I'm going to add in stir stick up here, and then I'm going to write down here stir tea with, that's not with, let's see. Let's go ahead and look back through our materials and methods and see if we use everything. Now that I'm looking back at that, we never used this liquid measuring cup. What was the intended purpose of the liquid measuring cup? Right, it was to measure the water. So I'm going to go ahead and move this number 1. I'm going to move it down to number 2, and up here number 1 I'm going to say use measuring cup to measure out 8 ounces of water. I think this can be rewritten in a way to use less words. Use measuring cup to measure 8 ounces of water. Do you think it can be rewritten in a way? I'm not sure. We can come back to it. We're just trying to make some improvements. As our learning target says today, we just want to try and make a couple of improvements. It doesn't have to be perfect every single time. When you guys have more experience, then we might want to make it a little bit more perfect, but not right yet. So let's see. And also, you can see it's totally okay to make mistakes as long as you go back and learn from them. Even I make mistakes. You guys have seen me make a million spelling mistakes today. Alright, it's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and go back and add the amounts of sugar in tea, just so that it's super clear in the instructions, but I'm going to give you your directions next, and then I'll go back and correct this before I put it up on the Google Classroom. So, what I want you guys to do is to go ahead and look at your instructions that you wrote earlier. There should be another page, a blank page that is the same exact page as the page that you wrote your instructions on. You can go ahead and pull the packet apart if it was easier for you. I want you to go through your instructions and rewrite them and kind of correct them how I just did to this example. I want you to think about your language usage. Is your language dense? Can it be more dense? Are you specific? Are you being specific about, the amounts? Are you being specific about temperature? Are you being specific about all the different parts? And I also want you guys to think about, are you being accurate and precise? We've talked about those words. If you forgot what they mean, go ahead and look them back up. Or go back to the beginning of the year and check your notes. Let me know if you have questions.